Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
At a massive rally in Naharlagun on the 20th of September last year, Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Gegong Apang, along with other legislators, threatened to resign if the centre did not solve the Chakma and the Hajong issues by the 31st of December. The deadline has passed, yet the tussle continues. Agenda.
In the massive Naharlagun rally of 20th September, it was also decided that the state government will initiate steps to forcibly evict Chakmas if the centre does not find an amicable solution before December 31st. And by amicable solution they meant deportation of the refugees. The Chakmas still remain in the state. Even the All Arunachal Pradesh Students' Union, which was so vociferous in demanding the ouster of the Chakmas and Hajongs, it seems has lost its bite, or has been silenced. And the opposition is silent as well.
Resolution speaks very clearly. The onus of implementing the 6-point resolution lies only with the parties, those who are affiliated to the political parties. APSU is not a political party. Therefore, we are simply a guard to see that the leaders who have given a commitment to the people implements. There is no way out but to implement. We are not going to allow even our own leaders to betray our people. So therefore we are a guarding force. Though we are not capable of resigning, because by virtue of the resolution speaks of political parties. Since we are not a political party, we are not capable of resigning. Therefore our duty is to ensure that our leaders implement the 6-point resolution and they do not betray the people. Therefore, this is only our area of operation.
Donjipoto definitely doesn't want bloodshed. That is why we have been crying for last 30 years. Otherwise, there should have been a pool of blood.
We are trying to stop any miscreants taking advantage of this situation and trying to damage life and property of these people. So that is our main. Deployment is not in everywhere, but in district we have got the district capital Itanagar. There we have our headquarters. But this being the settlement area of the Chakmas, and from where the initial problem started, so we have deployed here in each block where Chakmas are staying.
यहाँ में हम लोग ब्लॉक 8 तक कवर करते हैं. No block.
Since 29 November, I think, October, I think, this 144 has been declared, and it has been extended now also for another 2 months.
The Chief Minister of Arunachal Pradesh, Gegong Apang, was in New Delhi to discuss the matter with the Home Ministry and the Prime Minister. The centre formed a high-powered committee to look into the issue. This committee, which is headed by the Home Minister, was constituted on 24th of December. The other members of this committee are the Minister of State for Law, H.R. Bhardwaj, the Minister of State for Home, Syed Sipte Razi, and other senior members of the Home Ministry and the Arunachal Pradesh government. It met for the first time on the 5th of this month, with plans to hold further meetings in Arunachal Pradesh.
There is a series of process. Then first we met, and then after meeting that they asked that they'll call us that like that the days took place. But anyway, if the central government is sincere, it may be taking some time, but then they must have a point. Make it point to implement it for the removal from Arunachal of this so-called Hajong and
why you did resign on 31st when Chakma?
No, but because all central party they were not supporting. Therefore, but all party leaders they took it exception. So, staying in the center, at the central, the political parties, if they do not have any, appreciation to the such, genuine but legitimate demand of the people, then everybody thought why to be in the with the center, with the center political party.
There was some pressure from local people. I think some people misunderstood the concept, because the Chakma problem is not the problem of only Arunachal. It is a national problem, and wherever and whenever we face any national problem, we have to digest or we have to accommodate these people somewhere or some corner of our country. Like, in 1971, what happened during this, when Bangladesh was formed, from East Pakistan to Bangladesh, when it was converted. So what happened? A lot of migrants, a lot of refugees came to India. And most of the people were staying in Bengal. And ultimately, the Bengal government and the people of Bengal, they accommodated them. They shared their emotions. They shared their worries. We have to, somebody have to share these views, and ultimately we have to solve this problem amicably. We cannot solve the problem under pressure or under threat or under emergency. We have to solve this problem amicably. And these people, when we are talking about human rights, we are talking about the welfare of human being, whether he is a Chakma or an Indian or a Nepalese, we should behave like a proper thing, and we have to sort out the problem sitting across the table peacefully.
Now only they are taking interest, because you have pressurizing. It's going to be, you see, one of the biggest problem in the entire northeastern India, and the people, particularly the tribal. Entire northeastern India is dominated by tribals. If these tribals, indigenous people are, disturbed by these outsiders like Hajong and Chakmas, definitely are going to be ruined. Socially, economically, politically will be ruined. Therefore, last 30 years, our central government has not been taken much interest. But this year only, as per persistent effort, they are just taking interest.
For the local populace, this is a saga of frustration, anger, and deprivation. They do not want Chakmas and Hajongs to stay in Arunachal Pradesh.
If the government resign, it doesn't solve the purpose of our people's purpose. Because once our government resign, then unnecessarily the center may impose president rule. Thereby our people's interest is not solved. Once it is a president will impose, then the center will decide according to their whims. So it is the deadline which since our people has not, leader has not resigned, because this is for the benefit of the people of Arunachal Pradesh. Because by remaining in power, only then they can solve the problem, this Chakma problem.
31st December, that they have constituted a committee. And that was discussed again in the all-party meeting. Then we have welcomed the decision that from now onwards, this committee should submit the recommendation. This is only a recommendation body they have formed. So, based on the recommendation of this committee, the government will act. So that has been convinced to us. So therefore, all the parties agreed upon to defer the date of the resignation from all national political parties till the announcement of the coming Lok Sabha election.
It is not a Arunachal problem, or it is a problem of a northeast state, but it is a national problem. We have to take it in that spirit. And I think the High Command is already aware of all these things, and there is a lot of discussions are going on between Home Ministry and the northeast states, and they are going to decide something positive in this matter.
The Riangs are the second largest indigenous people of Tripura. Known for their simple and colorful life and famous for their silver jewelry, the Riangs are in the midst of rapid changes. Canvas captures the many facets of the Riangs.
The Riangs are the second largest community in Tripura. It is said that in the olden days, the Riangs lived in the Mayanlang areas of the Lushai Hills on the Burma border. Later, during the 14th century, they migrated to the Karnapulli valley of the Chittagong Hill tracts during the reign of Ratna Manikya. Then the Kukis followed, and the Riangs fled to Tripura, where they still remain. As the Riang settlement spread over Tripura, there followed a constant interaction with the Tripuris, resulting in an amalgam of culture and customs. During the reign of Dhanya Manikya, Riangs attained the position of eminence. Two of his generals, Rai Kachan and Rai Kachag, were Riangs. But the Riangs' love for independence did not endear them to their rulers. The Riangs continued their revolt against the autocracy of the rulers till 1942, when they succeeded in overthrowing Rai Karendra. The political system, which is now defunct, was headed by Rai, the supreme chief. He was assisted by his prime minister, Kachak. The basic unit of the Riang social organization is the joint family. The eldest male member is the authoritarian head. The family is integrated into the village by the headman or the chaudhry, who wields supreme authority in the village. Among the Riangs, marriage is settled by the family. Instead of paying the bride price, the groom labors at the house of his suitor. Nowadays, money is paid instead of labor. The Riangs weave and dye their own clothes. The women wear expensive silver coins as necklaces and dress in colorful loincloths. At one time, they did not believe in artificial makeup, but now they use soap, perfumed oils, and scents. The Riangs are not a static community. There is a great dynamism inherent in them. Modern influences have, to a great extent, succeeded in changing their lifestyle.
first ever rural stadium cum sports complex of the Northeast recently came into being at Raizai. This sports complex is meant to encourage sports enthusiasts in the rural areas whose talents go otherwise unnoticed. A special report.
On 23rd of December, the Chief Minister of Assam, Hiteshwar Saikia, inaugurated the biggest rural sports complex of the northeastern region in the presence of eminent sports persons of the state. The terrains of the northeast have given birth to natural athletes and sportsmen. Owing to the lack of proper environment, these talents were lost in the humdrum of routine activities. As people lived mostly in the rural areas, their access to avenues of modern sports became limited, and usually their aspirations were nipped in the bud itself. Still, some emerged because of the aid provided by the government and private institutions. In spite of all these constraints, the Northeast has to its credit eminent sports personalities of national and international fame. There was a need to make available modern sports amenities at the grassroots level. At first, the search for budding sports talent in the rural areas was taken up by the Sports Authority of India. And later, when new ways to harness the talent of rural youth was sought, the concept of a rural stadium took shape. The Arjuna awardee, Bhogeshwar Borua, lit the torch. Spread over an area of 46 bighas and built at the cost of 40 lakh rupees, the Raizai Sports Complex is situated 22 kilometers from Sibsagar. The Chief Minister also facilitated the eminent sports persons in the state. Surrounded by nearly 500 villages, amongst others comprising Thora, Nitai, Panidihing, Borua, Bokota, Khowang and Sipong villages, this biggest rural sports complex is expected to bring alive the aspirations of hundreds of young sports talents.
In 2 years' time, it was completed. The main person were Ravi Kapoor, as I mentioned, Ramesh joined the PG, and myself as a representative, I was required to back them up in providing the funds from the EAS block. Dimo was the only EAS block in Sibsagar district. Out of 9 development blocks, this was the only EAS, Employment Assured Scheme block.
Facilities offered by the Raizai Rural Stadium cum complex include a gallery around the athletic track, 456 meters long, with 5 steps leading to the upper seats of the gallery, a 400-meter athletic track, a football field with provisions for holding hockey and cricket matches, a basketball court along with a hard court and a grass court for learners, 2 volleyball courts for holding competitions and 1 for learners, 2 handball courts, and a swimming pool.
Guwahati recently hosted the 3rd National Children's Science Congress. Budding scientists from the country and abroad participated in this major event. The theme was Clean Up India.
The 3rd National Children's Science Congress at Guwahati from 27th to 29th December 1995 was inaugurated by the Director of Secondary Education of Assam, Srimati Tilotama Barua. Organized by the National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Ministry of Science and Technology, Ministry of Human Resource Development, and the Ministry of Environment and Forests, the National Children's Science Congress was hosted by Assam Science, Technology and Environment Council. 549 child scientists from all over the country, students belonging to Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, and foreign students from Qatar all together presented 396 reports and discussed some of the most important issues facing mankind. The focal theme was Clean Up India. Nearly 100 students from Assam participated. And as far as rural participation from all over the country is concerned, Arunachal Pradesh topped the list with %% rural participation.
What these trees are trying to say us, we are for the survival of human being, but they are receding us drastically. And in India, 87 hectares of land are prone to soil erosion, and the Thar Desert is increasing 40,000 hectares of land per year.
The closing ceremony was presided over by Loknath Mishra, the governor of Assam, who also gave away the prizes to deserving children.